Who's ready for Swan Signal Live, everybody? Bitcoiners, pre-coiners, no coiners, new coiners. Welcome to Swan Lounge, a weekly show in which you get to hang out with some of the Swan team and our amazing friends in the world of Bitcoin. This week, I'm not even going to read the intro that I do. I'm just going to do it from memory because we have a very special show. We don't have our, group of guests like usual. We've got Camilla Campton and we've got Javier Bastardo joining us for a very, very especial announcement. Maybe you can guess what it is. Very excited for them to join us. A few housekeeping items as usual before we get started. You can go and download Jan Pritzker's book for free at swanbitcoin.com/free book. We may even have a little announcement about that as well. Join Swan Force, folks. See this cool hat? Unfortunately, you don't get one of these cool hats because I made this hat for myself, but maybe we'll make some of these cool hats for you. But Swan Force itself, I think, is pretty cool on its own. It is our amazing referral program. Go to swanbitcoin.com/enlist to get started. You'll get your very own custom referral page with your avatar and your name and a little welcome message you get to share with all your friends. You'll earn 25% of Swan's fees on their purchases for 3 years. And if your friends, your family, whoever uses your link to sign up, they will get $10 of Bitcoin. If you're not signed up for Swan Force, come on, just go sign up, spread the good word. You're already out there. You're already spreading the good word about Bitcoin. So why not get paid? Makes sense to me. Now, you know what? No, I'm too excited. I'm not going to go through the usual. We're just going to get this show on the road. Give me a second. We're going to bring in Camilla Campton and Javier. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, folks. I'm doing this on my phone. It's terrible.
You're doing great, Becky.
We had technical issues today. Lots of technical issues. There we are. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Bienvenidos. Why am I dropping all these little Spanish words into my my vocabulary, folks? Should we just get right to it? Should we share the good news?
Well, I suppose yes.
Yeah, so hey guys, how is everyone doing? We're super excited to be here, especially Javier and I. We want to announce that starting next week, we'll be giving details soon about specific times, but starting next week, we're going to be doing a Swan show in Spanish called Bitcoin en Español. And it's super exciting because there's been weird things that have happened in the past week, past 24 hours that I'm still kind of like, what is life right now? But it's just really showing that there's going to be an amazing connection that we can do with our brothers and sisters in Latin America. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to be able to co-host with Javier. He's an amazing host, as well as Brecky. I get both the best of both worlds, which is exciting. But yeah, super, super honored to launch the show next week.
Javier, hermano, do me a favor. Tilt your camera. You look very short right now, and you're not a short guy. Or maybe you are. I've never met you in person, but we'll see. You know what I'm excited about? I actually saw, I think, John Vallis tweeting about this about an hour ago. So many Bitcoiners who are not native Spanish speakers are like, hey, we need to learn Spanish. We need to brush up on our Spanish so that we can go live in the citadel of El Salvador. And so I'm excited to brush up on my Spanish. I used to be fluent, and I try to practice here and there. So I'm going to be a avid watcher of this show, and maybe when my Spanish is a bit better, I can join all the fun. But so what are we? How did this start? Where was the genesis of this show, and what are you going to be talking about besides Bitcoin? Obviously, it's going to be all in Spanish.
I think that the idea is one of the key points of the Swan Bitcoin strategy, that is education. So we have a really big community in English, but many of those things that are built around the English-speaking community are not going through Latin America or Spanish-speaking people that are trying to figure it out how they can use Bitcoin and how they could overtake this tool, but don't have many places. there are many podcaster and channels in Spanish, but not with this idea of connecting the two communities, the Spanish and Anglo communities. So we have Camila that is the bridge, and I'm the Spanish guy. So we can make a really good thing. And also, I think that I have to give a big shout out to Cafe Bitcoin on Clubhouse. That is the way to go to talk about Bitcoin and listen others to talk this. And Camila started a series of rooms talking about Bitcoin in Spanish. I joined it. So it involves, we have a group, we have really active people talking and learning about Bitcoin, but we don't have a place where you can find like how to install a wallet, how can I buy Bitcoin, or why Bitcoin matters. So it is the good way to go to create this Bitcoin en Español show.
So
Yeah, I
Javier,
think.
sorry, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, I think we're just going to want to compact all the information possible for any beginner. So like Javier said, there's amazing channels out there in the Spanish-speaking community where you can learn a lot of things. I think what we're just going to try to do is like have a spot where we can talk about all things. We want to be able to have guests from the Latin-speaking community come in and share their stories, because I think that's super powerful. Like Javier said, we want to be able to have like little tutorials about how to run a node, how to use Lightning, like all of these little things. So it's going to be a little bit of everything, and hopefully we're just able to help as much as we can with the Spanish speakers. So yeah.
Super exciting. I'm so excited. We've got a couple other surprises, and maybe we can talk about them a little bit. Javier, I have enlisted Javier to do something special. You know how we give away Jan Pritzker's book, and there's an audiobook, but there's no audiobook in Spanish. So Javier, I'm saying it live on TV right now. Javier is going to be doing the audiobook for Inventemos Bitcoin. So I'm excited about that. Javier, I have something else that I haven't talked to you about yet, and I'm just going to surprise you now. I'm kind of jealous, actually. I'm kind of jealous because I absolutely love my job. I love working for Swan. I love working for Bitcoin and in the Bitcoin space. But there's one person in Bitcoin where I always say to myself, man, I wish I'd thought of that first. And it's the job that Guy Swan has of reading all of the Bitcoin articles. It's what a job, right? Now, Javier, I don't think anyone is doing that in Spanish. So when you're done with Inventemos Bitcoin, I think you should become the Guy Cisne, the Guy Swan of
Yes.
Latin America.
Nice.
So I'm memeing this into existence. It'll probably involve a lot of like translation as well, because I don't know how many of these articles have been translated, but maybe a lot of them. And it's important, I think, that not only that we address things like Lightning wallets and tutorials and why Bitcoin's important, but Nick Szabo's shelling out in Spanish. All these things that really bolster what it means to be a Bitcoiner, I think. So get ready for some more work.
I will give my voice to some Bitcoin related articles, and that I think that will be really useful, especially because many of the newcomers that will be coming into Bitcoin the next month will need to catch out this really faster, because Bitcoin is moving and moving and moving. We have almost locked Taproot, and maybe if you are a newcomer, you will not know what the fuck is that. So yes, we have a ton of job, a ton of work to be done, but happy to help. And this is just a circumstantial thing that we are doing this, but it could be any other person around the world. It is just our moment, I think, but the idea is to create more to share more of this energy of this learning path that we have. And yes, Inventemos Bitcoin is the first phase, and then some articles on Sabo, some Bitcoin magazines pieces.
You know what's amazing is that well, at least personally, I've been getting a lot of DMs from people from the Spanish-speaking community saying, how can I help? Hey, I'm actually translating these articles. Like, and this is just an invitation, like, I want to set this super clear. This is not going to be the Camilla and Javier show. This is a Bitcoin show. Or just
but
little.
It is going to be a little bit the Camilla and Javier show. I think that's okay. That's all right.
But it's just to show, and it's just like an invitation to anyone else out there. Like, to be honest, I still feel like I'm very new to the space compared to a lot of people. And that hasn't stopped me from actually wanting to contribute and make these connections and, you know, just learn as much as I can so that I can share it. And we're kind of in a time crunch, like Javier says, with the news of El Salvador. A lot of newcomers are going to come in, and we want to be able to help El Salvador succeed as much as we can wherever we are in the world. So it's just an invitation that if you feel like you can contribute to the space, don't ask for permission. You don't have to ask for permission when it comes to Bitcoin. Just do it, you know, and amazing things can come out of it. Like Javier said, when we started the little cafe Bitcoin rooms on Clubhouse in Spanish, honestly, it was just like 30 people that would join. And we started to build a tiny little community in there that then translated into a Telegram. And then from that, when Javier opened the room last night on Twitter Spaces, it kind of blew up in a way that I would have never dreamed of. So I'm going to let Javier tell that story because it's powerful when you just take the initiative to start working in the space and doing something.
I was out to dinner and I woke up this morning and I see this news. So please give me all the details. I made your FOMO. What happened, Javier?
It is really incredible. I have a good friend of mine here in Venezuela that is Crypto Jan, that he tweeted something out that billionaires around the world could connect with someone doing a humble Twitter space in Venezuela. And this is exactly what happened. Camila and I was recording an Hablemos de Bitcoin episode that is my podcast with Satoshi in Venezuela. And we have a very long conversation. We had like 6 other persons talking about the conference, about El Salvador news, about the Bolivar bills that was displayed on the conference, if it is disrespectful or if it was just a fiat critic. So we had a very, very hot and incredible conversation there that was like an hour and a half last. And then we had this idea of make the rooms of Clubhouse, but in spaces. And I was running almost out of time, so I created another one and started the space with like me. It was me hanging in the spaces. I tweeted, "I'm hanging, estoy hangueando en spaces." I put a tweet like that, like I was just hanging there. And then some people started to join. Camila joined as well, and we started with like 20 people. Then I start tweeting about what we'll be talking, tagging some people that I think that will be great to have at least talking a little with us. And then we had like 70 people in the room. And then Nick Carter joined the room too. And Camila invited him to talk. And he said, hello, hola. I don't know Spanish. Yes, I don't know Spanish. I will listen to you. And then he left the room, but in that process of being a speaker and then going through to the public, Jack Dorsey joined the room. Like, what the fuck? And I was looking on the numbers of the room, and from 70 people, it jumped to 420, and then 900, and then more than 1K people connected, listen what we were talking, or what Camila and friends were talking, because my space went full buggy and I can't even talk. I was DMing with Jack like well, Spaces is making me very, very fun like right now. And he said, whoa, well, continue doing the room. The room is really, and we have a really great momentum because many people want to talk, because the El Salvador news is like the first piece in a movement of filing other pieces. So it was the exactly feeling that we had in the room. Like many people was talking about El Salvador, but then I want to talk about Colombia, I want to talk about Chile, I want to comment on Peru, etc. It was amazing. Jack said that he was there just to listen, and then the conversation was really, really great, to have the different insights of the people that are around the region, that people that maybe we can connect with a little couple of tweets, but when you listen those people speaking about what is happening, and you can have the color of the emotions that you have when you are talking, it is really special. Was an amazing night to me. Like I spent like 4 or 5 hours of the night making Bitcoin things, and when I stopped it, when I closed the second room, like I can't even sleep. Like, I had to eat a little. I had to, whoa, this happened. So yes, this is
Yeah,
the really best way to launch Bitcoin en español, my friend.
yeah. Honestly, I had a freak out moment when Javier wasn't able to speak because I was just like, well, Jack is here, a whole bunch of people. I hadn't even realized that we had reached more than 1,000 people. But obviously, I'm very passionate about the whole subject with Bitcoin en Español. And we just kept talking in Spanish the whole time. And there was a point where I just addressed Jack and I said, you know, thank you for being here. Thank you for the English speakers, even though you don't understand. And that's when I say we all speak one language, and that is Bitcoin. And then next thing you know, that's what Jack quoted. And I'm getting blown up with messages like, and I'm just like, this is the most unreal thing ever. But it's true. It was just as cool as the Jack Dorsey thing was, because I mean, hey, that was pretty cool. It's just like seeing how other people would say, I have no idea what these people are saying, but they sound super excited, super alive, and I'm here to support this. So shout out to everyone who joined the room, because honestly, it was magical. It was what Bitcoin is all about, just getting together and seeing how we can make the world better.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately wasn't there for the room, but you know, it's similar, I think, to the way I was feeling when we were listening in to what was happening in El Salvador. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I've had a number of like special moments in my time in Bitcoin, and I think that takes the cake. Like, we were like hearing this change in real time, and it was I wasn't crying, but I was almost crying. And I was walking around my kitchen because I was listening to it, and I just I didn't know what to do with myself. I just was like, is this real? Is this happening? It is. Holy it's wild. And I think we're going to see these dominoes fall. Wait, hold on. I went to Google Translate. I'm just trying to teach myself Spanish again. Las fichas de dominó caerán.
Muy bien.
They will fall. The dominoes will fall. We will see it happen in all of these countries, and it's I haven't stopped looking at places in El Salvador. Like we'll see if I actually move there, if I'm full of it, but I'm definitely going down there sometime soon. That's for sure, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, there was a lot of discoveries going on in that conversation. Like, obviously, seeing that, like Javier said, you're making a humble Twitter space, and then you have a billionaire at the other side of the world join you and bring awareness to this. And then we started talking about politicians in El Salvador and politicians in Latin America who are starting to use laser eyes, right? And then people were like, well, like, are they about it, or are they actually full of it? And then it was just a realization like, hey, we have the power to like get all of these people together, and there are politicians that are having conversations with us. For example, the president of El Salvador, where he's not only connecting with his people, but from people all over the world. And what we can actually do is keep these politicians accountable and actually start just bombarding them if we have to on Twitter, like, hey, what do you know about laser eyes? What do you actually know about Bitcoin? Please tell us how you're going to help us out. Like, we have that power just through our phone. And sometimes I think that we sleep on technology and we're just so used to it. Like, yeah, this is cool. But we haven't really tapped into the potential we have to use our phone, social media, connections all around the world to actually propel this change even faster if we want to.
Did you both see Dania Gonzalez, that video that I retweeted the other day? Like, you're talking about politicians, like whether they get it or not. Like, I was just in disbelief. She was saying the things that Bitcoiners have been saying for years, and she's a top politician in El Salvador. Like, it gives me hope for other places where, you know, where this might happen there as well. So it's I don't know. They're politicians, so maybe they were politicking, but it seems like they're politicking for good, which is it's just amazing to see.
If you are making politics around Bitcoin, you are making politicking for the good, even though you don't want to. Even the Chavismo dominating the Bitcoin narrative down here in Venezuela, they are building the knife that will cut their own throat and giving them to the people. So this is involved around Bitcoin from the people, but we can make them accountable easier with the Bitcoin tool in our hands. And well, El Salvador is a really nice example.
Yeah, it's the whole concept of don't trust, verify still applies to all of this. And I think that's the beauty of it. You know, like, we're not really trusting them. We want to make sure that we keep them accountable so that we can verify that everything that they're saying is actually what they are doing. And it doesn't matter if they're trying to attack the other side, right? Like, who they're against in politics. Like Javier said, I mean, if it's for Bitcoin and it's good for them, awesome. But it's serving Bitcoin, and that it's always a positive thing as long as that they keep going with what they're saying.
You know what else was really cool, and I think we'll see it happen over and over again. But, you know, just watching the groundswell of support for El Salvador from Bitcoiners all over the world, and like, I'm not alone in, like, I've seen people on Twitter like myself who are like, I want to move to El Salvador, I want to help, like, I want to do what I can, I want to help build this economy and turn it into a Bitcoin utopia. You know, like, I think we'll watch how it plays out, but I'm very optimistic, and I think it will play out the way that we think it will, you know, and other countries will see what's happening, and they'll follow suit, you know, and it all started with Bitcoin Beach, which is even cooler. So
I agree. And, you know, I'm super optimistic, and both of you guys know this. Like, I'm probably one of the most optimistic people, and obviously we want this to win.
You're the most optimistic person at Swan Bitcoin. That is 100% true. There's no one else. Folks, I'm going to give you a little insight into how Swan Bitcoin works, what our Slack channels are like. Pretty much every day, it's like Camilla, like, hey, who's ready to change the world and make it a better place? Let's go Bitcoin. And it's, I'm like, Camilla, I haven't had my coffee, but okay, all right, let's go.
I mean, that's the way to do it, right? Try to keep it. We're doing a good thing, so how can you not be happy? Wake up every day and feel happy with what you're doing. But yeah, going back to the whole idea of people that actually want to go down there and start building, it's like, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all, especially for people that haven't experienced life in a Latin American country or a developing country. Like, you're not going to have all of the commodities that you have here in America, like air conditioning, like all of these things, you know, it's a completely different place. But I feel like the people, like you, Brecky, I feel like you're a diehard Bitcoiner that obviously wants, it's not about number go up and how you can benefit solely. It's like about how everyone can benefit. Like these are the people that are actually going to make a change once they start going down there and want to build something. So it's just super important to keep in mind, like we want to hype this up as much as possible, but also want to keep it as real as possible for everyone, and that it is going to be a lot of hard work. But if people are up for it and they actually go through with it, it's going to be absolutely worth it. It's going to be absolutely worth it.
I just want to point out to everyone in the chat and everyone who watches this video later, and to my two amazing hosts with me here, the more that we talk about Swan House, the more possible it becomes. We got to meme this into existence, okay? Swan House.
We got to call it Casa Cisne, though. If it's in El Salvador, Casa Cisne.
You didn't laugh at my joke on Slack earlier today, okay?
What did you say?
Another Slack story. You were saying we had to call it Casa Cisne, and I wrote Claro que Cisne, which I thought was, thank you, gracias, that's funny, okay?
I didn't read it.
That part.
Es buena, es buena. Fue buena.
Yeah,
for all you, my fellow gringos, it's a joke on Claro que sí, which is like, of course, kind of, and then Cisne means swan, so I put them together, and anyway.
Yeah, no, you're perfect at making all of these things, Brecky. Our secret guru in Swan that has the most brilliant ideas. But yeah, it's honestly like there's a person in one of our Telegram groups that he's already talking about like looking into real estate. Like this is a Swan, a Bitcoiner that is just like deep into this, like really wants it to happen. And obviously us at Swan, we're like, well, I guess it is. I guess it is going to happen, especially if that's what the people want. You know, we're going to work towards this. This is good for us and good for Bitcoin.
Should we talk in Spanish?
You two can talk in Spanish. I'll do my best. I'll do some learning.
Quisiera es invitar a las personas que nos estén escuchando ahora en español, que estén allí con nosotros conectados, que si tienen alguna pregunta o de repente quieren que tratemos algún tema en los siguientes shows que vienen, pues se sientan súper invitados. Como Camila dijo, es un show que estamos llevando nosotros a cabo, obviamente, pero es para la comunidad, es para Bitcoin. No es para que nosotros, o sea, ¿qué beneficio más que hablar de Bitcoin? Esa es mi invitación en español. So you can go on, Brecky. You can say something in Spanish.
Don't put me on the spot like that. Now I'm nervous. Estoy nervioso.
Muy bien.
Excelente.
La comunidad que nos escucha en español y que nos ha seguido, que de verdad, yo estoy enamorada de esa comunidad porque todos son muy humildes, muy amables, de verdad que quieren aprender, tienen como esa hambre de aprender. También conocí a algunos de ellos en la conferencia y esos abrazos para mí fueron súper especiales porque es muy diferente solo escuchar las voces, pero después ponerle una cara, un abrazo, o sea, se siente que estamos haciendo algo súper especial, como un grupo, un cambio muy especial. Así que todas las ideas que tengan, todos los temas que quieran compartir con nosotros, saben que, bueno, los DMs están abiertos en Twitter. Hay muchos DMs por lo que pasó anoche, así que un poquito de paciencia con nosotros, porque sí son muchos, pero les prometemos que los vamos a leer todos para que eso es un proyecto de todos nosotros, de toda la comunidad. No lo podemos hacer sin todos ustedes. Así que estoy muy emocionada no solamente de trabajar con Javier en este proyecto, pero también toda la comunidad latina para llevar esto hacia la luna. Y el más allá.
To the moon. To the moon.
Pero let's skip over Mars. Let's skip Mars. Let's leave that for Elon. We don't want to see him.
What is Mars, anyway? Yeah, I do tend to get a little more chatty in Spanish. That is true. So for those that may not know, I was actually born in Colombia. Spanish is my native language, and I spoke, at my house with my mom, my sisters, my dad. So I've always kept it very, very alive. So yes, I feel like when I talk, especially Colombian Spanish, it's just like blah, 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 like it's just really fast. I can't control it.
Pretty cool.
So I understood a lot of that, but it was very comprendo mucho, pero man, I can't speak Spanish. I need to practice. I need to listen more and practice in front of the mirror. I understood most of it. It was very fast. I have to like listen really intently, but I'll get it.
That's what Nick Carter said last night. He's like, I got most of it, but I can't speak. And it's like, it's okay. Thank you for being here.
That's what people that don't know how to speak English feel when they are listening things about Bitcoin. So the idea of making a show in Spanish is to make it easier to those that feel like Brecky when we talk in Spanish, or like I feel when people talk faster English. Yes, the idea is to talk in Bitcoin, as Camila said yesterday.
Exactly. And it's good. I feel like, and I said this a lot before, the English community is very spoiled. We're so spoiled with all of the amazing speakers and the content. And, it's easy to get if you learn it and you study it and speak English, it's easy. But imagine all these people trying to translate those same things or listen in English. It's not easy. So we want to bridge that gap for sure so that everyone can get the quality content that is out there for Bitcoin. It's out there. We just want to be able to bridge that and give it to everyone. We can.
Should we tease the book, the new landing page? Is that ready yet? I don't think it's ready quite yet, is it?
I think we just need to publish it, but I translated the page. Yes.
Camilla, you're gonna have to work on your version of the intro, and get used to saying how would you say that in Spanish? Let's practice.
Bitcoiners, pre-coin.
Oh no! You got to do your own. That's if you want to, you can. But
I'm just kidding. No, I'm gonna have to practice it over the weekend, to be honest, so that it can be ready for next week.
Wait, so when is the show? When are you starting? When's the first episode?
On Monday.
Es el primer episodio?
El lunes.
We are taking the spot that Swan Signal left since Brady moved the show to Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday.
And we're doing then
Miércoles.
and we're doing it on Monday afternoon.
So we'll have shows in Swan Monday, Wednesday every other week, and then Friday we have Swan Lounge.
So it's almost like los lunes. How do you say Mondays plural? Los lunes a la
Lunes. Sí.
Bueno, I like it.
Los lunes. Yeah.
Los lunes Bitcoin en español. Los miércoles Signal con Brady. Y los viernes Lounge con Brecky.
Oh man, I'm excited.
So I have a question for you, Brecky. If you could choose anyone to be a guest at the Spanish show, who would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, first I would get Daniel Gonzalez on. Her speech made me cry a little bit. She's awesome. We need to think about this. Well, you have a bunch of guests already set up. So what are you asking me for?
Because maybe we have them, or maybe we don't, and we should try to go get them.
I would go after a top footballer in the South American Football League, whether they're a Bitcoiner or not, and let's get some laser eyes on international soccer. That's what I would do.
Okay, so Javier, who would that be?
Probably one that plays in Brazil or Argentina, that are the biggest leagues in the region. And I don't know who is the best to go, but we can find out who will be the one soccer player that will use the laser eyes.
Someone said Suarez.
Mayor Suarez? Different Suarez.
Ya ves. Te ves.
Suárez
No.
o Tevez. Bueno,
Vamos a tener
están
que
altas
hacer
ligas. Those are really high profile players. Maybe we can get them. I don't know.
But
Javier.
after last night, nothing's impossible, right? So
Yes.
One
And
second.
I was DMing with Jack, so I have another guest that Jack suggests me, that is Marty Bent. Marty Bent talks Spanish. So Marty, if you know, you will be invited to prove your Spanish sometime.
I didn't know you speak Spanish. That's great.
I didn't either. And Jack said that he's
That's
nervous
so
about his
wonderful.
English. And I say, okay, well, I will not get him, but let's invite him.
Well, Matt Odell speaks Spanish also, I think. So we got to get him on as well. And I was going to say, I had to look this up. Apuntas a la luna, okay? Okay, don't be like, oh, there's such a big guest. Like, no, Javier, okay? We're going to get him. We're going to get him on the show. We're going to get all of them on the show. Until all of Latin America is one big orange glowing ray of hope, all right? That's what we're going to do. Right now, it's just El Salvador.
And now. And honestly, if there's like people that do speak Spanish, but they don't feel super comfortable, like it's okay. We're not going to bite. We're going to be here to help out. As long as you have a really important message or powerful message that you want to share. If we have to translate, then we will. That's what we're here for.
I kind of like that idea of getting like, when the guest makes sense, like having an official translator. They can even just be there and they can become like a new character on the show, and they're just always there translating for people. Who would be like the best translator, most entertaining maybe? I mean, you two can both translate, but it might get in the way of the show itself.
Oh man, yeah. We'll have to figure that one out. I love how Javier's eyes just got really big. Like, we have a lot of entertaining people in our community for sure. There's a lot
who's the American Hodl of the Spanish-speaking Bitcoiner world? Is there someone like that? Javier, is it you? It might be you.
Apex, maybe Apex. Apex is a really hard and American Hodl stylish Bitcoiner, and obviously Atlas. Atlas is they both are that kind of Bitcoiner that we always have a big loss, but they almost have this energy and want to fight the shitcoinery every time that is really needed.
But when you talk with them, they're like honestly the best people. They're like
Bitcoin Chosky is saying it's him. I don't know Bitcoin Chosky though in the chat. Is that you?
Everyone's saying, see, look at all the Hispanics saying it's me. Okay, it's me. Like we have our spiciness too. We have that spice that you cross us the wrong way. Ooh, you better run. No, but we're friendly people. We truly are. Someone
Really?
said they second Atlas.
You're friendly? Then who makes the better empanadas?
Okay, I'll take the empanadas. You know what? I've been tagged so many times on Twitter on this fight. I think it was Apex that chose violence today with me. And then people start tagging me about arepas and Venezuelan arepas. And you know what? Your arepas are delicious, guys. Like, I can't complain. Unas pepiadas, like, that's my jam. I can eat those all day, every day. But it's like a cultural part of Colombia, too, where it's just like you have different types of arepas. You always have to have a little tiny arepa with your meal. you know, but whatever. We all have our thoughts.
I can stand this. I'm leaving. Arepas are conquering the world because of the diaspora of Venezuelans. I raise my case.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know, it was amazing when I found out that we actually have an arepa emoji. I was like, where did this come from? This is amazing. So you're right. Arepas are taking over the world. I don't care if they're Venezuelan or Colombian. Everyone needs to have some. And pupusas need to start taking over the world.
Really
because anyone who hasn't had a pupusa, like, go this weekend somewhere to where they sell it. If they're in your area, celebrate El Salvador and eat some freaking pupusas because they are so amazing.
Someone is saying in the chat that Antonio Valencia, that is a really known Ecuadorian player, is a Bitcoiner. Wow. If that's right, we will get him for sure. Antonio Valencia is a legend in Manchester United Square.
I just got a message from my brother who's in the other room. We're in an apartment in New York. They could hear me yelling. I was getting too passionate. So I gotta bring it down a little bit.
That's what happens in Spanish shows. We tend to get too passionate. And, like,
Spanish speakers are not.
We don't even notice.
What are you talking about?
We shall see. Hopefully we'll have to give like a disclaimer when we start the shows, like, hey guys, make sure your volume is not up all the way. Make sure you dial it down a little bit because things will get heated in a good way. So
we will probably be having someone of El Salvador talking with us in the first show. So happy to have you guys, if you're looking this right now, talking in Spanish with people that are in the ground, looking how the things are going on there. So it is Bitcoin Español is about to launch to the moon and beyond.
yes. Talking all caps, yeah, caps lock activated in Spanish is a different experience for sure.
Well, all right, folks. I think it's been a show. I don't want us to give away too much of what's going to go on this on Bitcoin and Espanol. So why don't we we'll call it, but why don't we recap real quick? When is the show starting? Where can they find it? Anything that everyone should know, who they should contact with all their amazing ideas for guests, when the Cafe Bitcoin rooms are. I don't know. Just tell them all the things. You know.
You want me to go ahead? Okay. So, yeah. No.
Wait.
Go Javier.
How about Camila? You do it in English. Javier in Español.
Okay. So go into it first, and then I'll translate it.
Okay. ¿Cuándo va a ser el show? Bitcoin Español va a salir todos los lunes a través del canal de Swan Bitcoin en YouTube. Además, en Periscope vamos a estar tuiteando Camila y yo allí para que tengan el link todos los lunes. No les vamos a decir la hora todavía para que estén pegaditos allí esperando a que lleguemos. Así que parte de la estrategia de marketing de lanzar el programa es que estén pendientes de cuándo va a ser. Todos los lunes, como ya les digo, canal de YouTube donde van a encontrar otros programas en inglés, obviamente, pero bueno, ahí vamos a tener ese espacio en español. ¿Cuándo son las salas de Café Bitcoin en español en Clubhouse? En Clubhouse las estamos haciendo los jueves o a las 10 de la noche Eastern Time o a las 8 de la noche Eastern Time, pero como este último Twitter Space fue tan exitoso y tuvimos allí bastante asistencia, probablemente empecemos también a abrirlas o en simultáneo o abrir más semanas en Spaces y así. Entonces, siempre los jueves, 8 o 10 de la noche Eastern Time, vamos a estar allí. Y a quien contactar, Camila y yo tenemos, como todo buen Bitcoiner, los DMs abiertos, porque si tú estás en un entorno que se supone que es para colaborar y compartir información, no tener los DMs no tiene mucho abiertos, no tiene mucho sentido. Entonces, cualquier idea, cualquier persona que ustedes crean que viene bien a la conversación, si ustedes mismos quieren participar, no duden ni un momento en contactarnos, que vamos a estar allí para darles de una vez el spotlight en nuestro show y va a ser un gustazo tenerlos en Bitcoin en español vía Swan Bitcoin.
Someone just said tough translation, Camilla. Yeah, so to put all of that into English and then some, basically gonna wrap it up. If I did it word for word, like, man, I'd be really impressed with myself. So yes, so our shows are gonna be our Spanish show, Bitcoin en Español, a show by Swan. It's gonna be every single Monday, okay, through our Swan YouTube channel, which is Swan Signal. So youtube.com/Swan Signal. We are not going to be giving you guys the time yet. Javi said that that's like a little marketing strategy so that you guys can be prepared and, like, you know, just keep in touch, so you can be surprised. But yes, we're going to be doing those shows then. As a reminder, if you have any speakers or any ideas, both of our DMs are going to be open. So just give us a little time, have a little patience with us. But honestly, we want to make sure that we bring all of the voices, as many voices as we can to this, because like I said, this is going to be everyone's show. We're just going to be hosting it. The Cafe Bitcoin rooms in Spanish. So if you follow Cafe Bitcoin on Clubhouse, you will see that our times are, we usually meet on Thursdays, whether it's 8 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m. Eastern. We're very, you know, either one, whichever one works for us. Obviously, because we saw that Twitter Spaces had such a success last night, what we're going to try to do is either do it simultaneously or jump from one app to the other so that we can give both spaces some time. Side note, Brecky, help me figure out how to record those shows, because I've had so many people ask me about the recording of last night, and I was just like, I didn't know this was going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, those shows are going to be available. I'm super excited. Once again, Javi, it's going to be such a pleasure. I feel like we're going to crush it. And thank you for everyone that's been listening to the show, that's shown us so much support on Twitter. This is for you guys. Everything that we do, we're just going to pour our hearts out for this mission, for all of you, humanity. So super excited to start this new journey.
Increíble traducción. Todo. She said everything that I said. Incredible.
Incredible. Only here, folks.
Well, I don't think I have anything to add. So I think that's it. Thanks for joining us today on this very exciting Swan Lounge. We'll see you all on Monday at a undisclosed time. Secret. You got to be paying attention, yes. Which means you should probably go follow Camilla and Javier on Twitter if you're not doing so already. And yeah, we'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Chao. Nos veremos.
Nos queremos. Adiós. Bye, everybody.